Hands up, Kreia. You're under arrest. I fiddled with the workbench a little bit. I looked at the lab station too. Thought about creating all manners of things. Ultimately decided against it. I think I'll wait a bit later. I did consign T3M4 and Beodur to the Ebon Hawk, where I can't access them. I looked through what the group could do for me. I also took off Kreia's clothes. She still has clothes anyway, because her model never changes. We can recycle them for a component. And Atton's got his rib jacket, because if he doesn't, well, he looks like that. And I don't feel like fussing with their equipment. Like, what might be best, there's all sorts of crafting that would have to be done. And that's even if I continue the series. However, I did swap out the Sif Disruptor here for Mandalorian Heavy Blaster. I thought it was more fitting. Jafan's ready to go. He's got his cheerleaders back there, Kreia and Atton, who are ready to watch him kick ass. The only thing that Kreia could wear is these robes, but Jafan likes these. They're cozy.
Why have you approached me?
Hey, do all these women look alike? Not like I'm complaining, I mean, it's interesting.
They are Ichani. It is not unusual for their children to share similar features from the same parents.
If you have a reason for approaching me, speak it.
I'm looking for a fight.
I would welcome...
I could use a
Very
good
well.
sparring
Have you
match.
returned to fight?
I wish to challenge you
Very
again.
well. Our next battle shall be free of restriction on weapons and items. And you may use whatever technique, Jedi or otherwise, you wish to attempt to defeat me. In turn, I will spare none of our forms against you.
I'm ready, let's
Now
go.
Let us begin.
Okay. Kreia, get off the mat. That's not how these sparring matches work. So obviously we have to keep free of armor so that we can move free or whatever, but Jafan can actually use his blasters. And so he shall. I'm aware she's coming. Don't worry. I know. Let's focus on using Power Blast instead. That doesn't actually lower our defense. The full weight of the Ichani teachings. What exactly are we looking at here, combat-wise? She rolled a 2. She rolled a 2. And she got a 22. She rolled a 2. And she has a 22. That's some bullshit. I'm not exactly sure even how she has that. Because 13 plus 5 is... I know exactly how she has that. This is what I get for playing video games when I'm tired. Melee on ranged is the issue. She has a roll of 2 there. That's ridiculous. Barely needs anything to hit Jafan. And he's got a defense of 27! That's obscene!
You know much of melee combat. You surprise me.
I want to challenge you again.
There is nothing more that we can teach you from such contests. Such battle would only be for battle's sake.
If you cannot defeat me alone, feel free to pair up.
If that is what you wish, then we shall honor it. We shall see how you fight against a group of us. We shall take you in a pair, using everything at our disposal. Use whatever item, weapon, or Jedi technique you wish. We shall match it.
I'm ready.
Then let us...
Not even gonna bother healing up. Jafan is that damn confident. Alright. Let's get to it. Hope we can eliminate one of these two quickly enough. With some nice damage rolls. Beautiful, beautiful. Jafan's got plenty high attack modifier roll. What he definitely needs is more damage. Or maybe improving, like, that Rapid Shot, or probably Rapid Shot over Power Blast, but in this situation where he has no meat shields, I don't want to lower his defense even more.
You are a strong opponent. Atris was correct about you. You know much of war and battle. Perhaps too much.
So you admit defeat.
I admit nothing. The Ichani stand together. To defeat one or two of us says nothing of how a true battle would go.
But this isn't a true battle. This is a sparring test. We're unarmored. These are Ichani traditions. There's a mat here. Alright, let me catch my breath and I'll be back. Kreia, I don't think they understand their own rules.
Just say the word.
I hear you.
Now, this next fight is some bullshit. There's 5 of them. 3 in front, 3 in the front, and 2 in the back. Got Jafan locked up like a Chinese finger trap for, I don't know, a Rhodian? Who would be the ones most likely to invent a contraption like that, right? They do a lot of damage. Jafan's pretty easy to hit, particularly since he's range-oriented. He's got Force Push, but can't really rely on that to nudge off. Potentially, we could go and create, say, something like an adhesive grenade, and hope for the best. Or maybe, just maybe, this is a challenge designed by the Game Master to cause us to think outside the box. If Jafan just tries to tackle them with any normal tactics, he will lose. There's too many of them. He's got a lot of hit points, but they've studied his techniques. He can be overwhelmed. But he can win if he applies his considerable intellect to the challenge. And he is ready. Atreus may have prepared these students for a lot. But Jafan's got Kreia here, this old scow whispering words of power in his head. This is serious business. That's why we're keeping these on. I hope this lasts through the entire time, because I definitely want to have this active.
You are a strong opponent. Atris was correct about you. You know much of war.
I could take all of you on without breaking a sweat.
One does not sweat in the polar regions of Telos, so all that will break will be your pride.
Care to back up those words?
Then our last battle shall be the 5 of us against you.
Whatever, why not all 6
There
of
is no
you?
need for the last of us to join in this fight. The weakest among us will only serve to diminish our techniques. We fight as one when we are 5, not 6.
Very well. Come on,
Very
then.
well. We shall begin.
We'll see whether you shall pay with your hubris. No, my shield is gone. It went to heaven. Thanks, GM. I appreciate it. 2 minutes hadn't passed, but whatever. It's not as if that's important. Ah! Wrestle him out of the ring! Yeah! Actually, we got 3 of them out of the ring. Wait, what the hell's going on here? Just a complete bomb! I didn't push all of them out of the ring. But Jafan will take
There
it.
shall be no more matches, no more challenges. There is much we have learned from you. If we meet on the field of battle, we shall be prepared.
I'm not exactly sure what all happened there. It's kind of funny, though. My guess is that the GM was not prepared for what Jafan did. The Ajani were not prepared for what Jafan did. Everything turned into complete chaos. Like Bob Page from Deus Ex. It will be chaos. Complete chaos. Jafan just wrestled him out of the ring. And the moment they stepped out of the ring, that was it. It was good. Didn't need no damn buffs. Didn't have to prepare for combat. You folks were tapped into the Force. Instead of being the weaklings that you were, you'd think with your brains. Instead of your fists. That's what's up. Jafan Milano. Out of this bitch. Let's go! I'm pretty sure there's no more fights, but if he asks again...
There shall be no more matches, no more challenges. There is much we have...
Yeah. 750 whole experience points for our troubles. And those are like begrudgingly handed out of spite, right? GM mutter grumbles. Can't believe that Jafan's player managed to bypass the challenge like that. That's not how it was supposed to go. I'm Jar Jar Mark too, you say. Well, anyway. Let's go, everyone. I suppose there is one handmaiden I haven't talked to, and it's the handmaiden labeled just handmaiden. I reckon I can do that.
You are the exile, the one Atris warned us about.
And what did Atris say?
She said, you betrayed the Jedi by going to war when it was forbidden to you. You turned on your masters, your teachings, and yourself.
Oh?
That is not all she says. She says you know nothing of loyalty to any cause except your own animal instincts. And she told us why you fell to the dark side.
And why was that?
Atris says that you fell to the dark side in the Mandalorian Wars when you gave in to your lust for battle. Once you tasted war, you could not give it up.
Well, since Atris has all the answers, and since hell if I know what's going on, let's just keep following along that thread of logic. Why didn't I keep fighting in the Jedi Civil War?
Atris says, when the Dark Lord Revan returned to the Republic, you did not march with him because you had fallen so far you could no longer feel the Force.
Anything else?
I believe that is the extent of her expressed feelings toward you. There are variations at times, but all rise from the same foundation.
Expressed feelings?
Yes, it is difficult sometimes for others to truly speak their heart or listen to it. The words often prove difficult, or they do not come.
That's why I play Pazak. And drink. And to wear this damn headgear. What do you think Atris's heart... Nah, I mean, I already conveyed that. What do you think... So Atris does not know her own heart? Are you saying Atris could be wrong about me? What do you think Atris's heart says?
Without having seen you and Atris fight, I cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
If I fought Atris, then that might make the truth come out, you're saying. That you believe. By chance, did you watch me dispatch of all of your brethren? Particularly that final fight? 'Cause let me assure you, They should have taken the 6th one. Absolutely disorganized. They need a real leader. I could be their leader. I could be your leader. What do you say? No? Alright, if I fought Atris, then that might make the truth come out.
Perhaps. It may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression.
I would like to ask you something.
You may ask.
You said Atris warned you about me.
She said, you
Of course, we're back here into this dialogue chain, which means if I don't want to repeat the same things, I need to have, like, Jafan make a choice. She's exaggerating.
That is not all she says.
What? Dark side?
Atris says that you felt...
This is all the same dialogue, though. Basically, they just, like, have a moment of deja vu. And, like, I'm gonna pick 3 here.
Atris says...
Atris is entitled to her opinion. She's entitled to be wrong. I did not march with Revan because it was my choice.
So it was a matter of choice, then. If Atris has erred in her evaluation of your motivations, it might be best to inform her.
I'd rather jam myself with the buff and stutter. What else did she accuse me of?
I believe that is the extent of her...
Forget it. I'd like to ask you something else.
You may ask.
Don't take this the wrong way. I'm not flirting with you. But you look different than the other women here. It just comes across as a fucking come on.
I honor the face of my mother. It is not something spoken of in the company of others.
I apologize. I meant no offense.
There's no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that.
Is it a sensitive subject? I ask completely blithely.
It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time.
You know I'm leaving, right? Right, you know that, right? Like, we're not gonna... You're kind of speaking here with a level of attachment. Just...
You may ask.
I don't feel like saying 3. I'm gonna be going now.
Before you go, Exile, question for you, if I may ask it. You have touched the Force. What does it feel like?
It is a difficult thing to describe.
Please, I wish to know.
What the hell would Jafan say? He could defensively say, "You'll know when you die, so unless you seek death, leave me be." I like that choice. I think Jafan would, like, throw up, like, defensive walls, because he doesn't understand shit, either. Like, fucking, this is all a new revelation for him, too, you know? But I think through Kreia, and through everything that happened on, like, the Paragus mining station, and through how he's, like, increasingly, like, used these powers in combat, He would describe it in a powerful fashion. It is like a current that passes through you and carries you with it to all the places it touches.
It is like a cloud, a mist that drifts from living creature to creature, set in motion by currents and eddies. It is the eye of the storm, the passions of all living things turned into energy, into a chorus. It is the rising swell at the end of life, the promise of new territories and new blood, the call of new mysteries in the dark.
I see. Thank you both. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me.
You know the GM wrote that in advance, right? And was hoping, like hell, to find the most convenient spot to slot that from Kreia, right? And if we hadn't talked to Handmaiden here, Kreia would have found a way to say that so the GM could have gotten that off his chest. Well, if you have any further questions in the future, seek me out and ask them. I guess. Even though I'm going now. Forever. And we'll never see each other again. Alright, I'm sick of being a fucking good person. Need to go visit my Dwellic. Get some damn money from her. This is enough. I've said and done too many nice things. You are an awful influence, Kreia. Remember when I gunned down that person for talking back to me? Those were good times. Stupid motherfucking failed dirt, useless fucking head and useless. T3M4 keeps getting kidnapped. At least you haven't lost another damn hand. Old scout. Had enough of this place. Done with this shit. And if we crash on another surface, so help me God, I will space you. You hear me? I will space you. Absolutely ridiculous. Bit better off the damn Republic. T3, you on there? You ready to go? Fucking beep at me, answer. You'll be leaving the Telos Polar Academy for good. We've left anything behind, it stays behind forever.
Mistress, the last of the handmaidens is not among us.
She has left with the exile.
Left? But why? Her oath.
Her reasons are unknown to me, but I fear she may no longer be trusted. We will save her if we can, but we must let her discover the exile's nature for herself. Some evils must be confronted, and isolation from it would have been no defense.
Her left arm clipping through her clothes like that was bothering me.
Well, now that we're off that Dejaric board of a planet, I say we burn sky until we see lines.
T3. What? You did what while you were connected? You downloaded Atris's archives?
What is the machine saying?
In the future, Jafan may have to learn how to speak like an astromech droid because Kreia can't understand astromechs. Aha! We found a weakness in the old woman's game! If you have the Hollow T3, play it. We'll just be cryptic and not answer Kreia.
Do you know why we have called you here?
Okay, so what's this Jafan in the Hollow compared to how Jafan is like now? Also, look at that lightsaber. Some folks were curious about how it would appear, due to Jafan telling Atton to go fuck himself. I came because I chose to, not because you summoned me.
As Revan summoned you, so have you come full circle to return to the Jedi.
Why did you defy us? The Jedi are guardians of the peace, and have been for centuries. This call to war undermines all that we have worked for.
Is Revan your master now? Or is it the horror you wrought at Malachor that has caused you to see the truth at last?
You were not at Malachor, and you will never understand.
You refuse to hear us. You have shut us out, and so have shut yourself to the galaxy.
You are exiled, and you are a Jedi no longer.
There is one last thing. Your lightsaber. Surrender it to us.
It's one hell of a trial, huh? Good trial.
Much defiance in that one.
You are correct, Kavar. When he was here, I felt it. It was as if he was not there. More like an echo.
The war has touched the youngest of the Order. Many of them have lost themselves in battle against the Mandalorians.
We have not lost a Jedi this day. You felt it. He has lost himself. He is no Jedi. He walked Revan's path, but he was not strong enough.
I fear it is our teachings that may have led Revan to choose the path he did.
We are not the ones who taught him.
We take responsibility, Atris, not cast blame.
The choice of one was the choice of us all. Revan's teacher intended no harm, and Revan had many teachers since.
Yet they all stem from the same source. Her teachings violated the Jedi Code, and lead all who listen to the dark side, as they did the exile.
You are wrong. The dark side is not what I sensed in the exile. Surely the rest of you felt it as well. That emptiness we felt. He has changed.
Whatever that wound was, it was of the dark side. We should not have let him depart. He will simply join Revan again, or perhaps worse.
What would you have done with him, Atris? Be mindful of your feelings. This is not Revan who stood before you. This one walks a different path.
No, although that may come in time. We let him go because we must. Where he travels, he carries his destination with him.
Malachor 5 should have been his grave. You saw it in his walk, and in the Force. It was as if he was already dead.
No, not death. Many battles remain for that one, if what we have seen is true. But the future is a shifting thing, and he cuts like a blade through it.
We should have told him the truth. A Jedi deserves to know.
No good would have come from it, even if what you believed was true. There's still the matter of Revan, and such truths could leave us vulnerable on two fronts.
Perhaps in many years, we will call him before us and explain what happened to him, and how he may be healed. Until then, he must accept his journey.
But he may never discover the truth, and he will never know why we cast him out.
And that is the future we must accept.
Those Jedi sure like their secrets, don't they?
Is that all there is? There must be more. In a second, what else was in the archive? Alright then. Play the missing Jedi. Master Vrook on Dantooine. Master Zezkai El Narshada. Master Gavar on Onderon. Master Vash on Korriban. And Atris on Telos. Those Jedi were all on the council that exiled me.
A strange coincidence.
It is no coincidence. There is some larger plan at work here, and we are walking into it. This is too convenient to be anything but a trap.
I can feel that, by the way, GM. Theodur may have come from the shadows, but I know there's someone else back there. Shit. What would Jafan say? What does this mean for his story? There are so many years that he's lost of his life between what he remembered how he was before, a childhood, teenage years, and being an adult. Drugs, women, cards, all of those things and more. But there's such a huge gap between what he last recalls, the gamble that went wrong, and waking up at the Paragus mining facility. None of this makes sense, and yet for whatever reason it all feels familiar somehow. As if it's all supposed to be there. As if it's been there all along for Jafan. What if the life that he remembered before is a story? A fable? An allegory? An allegory? What if it's symbolic rather than true? What if Jafan wakes up and finds himself in the clutches of a hut he owes? And this mindfuck that's happened has all taken place within the span of like a few hours. You know, all of this has just been dreamed, like escapism for him. Like a fantasy he's been acting out. It feels real, but what is real? We have no choice. Those Jedi know what happened to me, and I will discover the truth.
Those are Atris's records you have stolen.
What the hell are you doing on our ship?
I have come to join you. I can help you against this threat.
Well, we don't want your help. Or any of your sisters.
It is just me. And I am doing this because Atris believes you will need help.
Jafan rotates to look at her. As if he knew he would see her again. And how about you? Do you think we need help?
I think the strength of the enemy is unknown, but it is greater than 5 can hope to defeat without aid.
I have proven the strength of 5 by nudging them all off a pad. When you put it like that, then welcome aboard.
Indeed. But of course, what does one more matter to our journey? I have had enough of this. I will be in my chambers.
Yeah, me too. I'll be in my chambers. But since I don't have any, I guess I'll just go to the cockpit like I always do. If she's coming with us, she gets the cargo hold. Might remind her how fun it is to get locked up.
General.
The cargo hold is enough. I assure you, there is little I need. I will attend to myself.
Look, we have plenty of beds. I would know. I slept in a place with 3 beds. Take the regular quarters, we have literally enough room. Like that, he's just being petulant.
It is no matter. I am used to worse conditions, but thank you for your kindness.
The Handmaiden has joined your party. She has a Chani defense, which protects her against melee attacks, and is an excellent unarmed fighter, and will likely be our other companion coming along with us besides Kreia.
General, is there a reason you don't carry a lightsaber anymore?
Oh my god. You people are wearing awful headgear and I have done this to you. It was taken from me.
That's not your lightsaber anymore. That belonged to someone who served Revan in the wars, not the person you are now. You could build another one, if you wanted to, but you know that.
Oh my god. Beodur just dropped an insightful line there. That belonged to someone else, but that's not who you are now. It's really cool. And very fitting for the story I've somehow constructed, where I'm not playing the Sith Lords. I'm playing the player of a character in a one-on-one campaign, and the GM's campaign is the Sith Lords. Which has made this far more entertaining and enjoyable than I ever thought playing this game would be again. I didn't think I would love this playthrough. This idea, this construct has made me love this playthrough. I'm surprised myself. Listen, apparently we have official documented evidence that I am no longer a Jedi. I don't want anything of the Jedi. Except for the robes. And the armor. Hey, I'm not afraid of building a new lightsaber if that's what you think.
I never said you were, but whatever the reason, you should put it behind you. I know this. A lightsaber is part of who you are. Without it, you're not complete.
Really? Is that what you really think, Beodur? Alright, I'll humor you. How would we start?
I think I can help you out there. I happen to know the parts you need.
Alright then. What do we need?
We need a power cell, emitter matrix, lens and focusing crystal. Though I have to admit the crystal is beyond my means. Never did understand them. Those parts are fairly common. Though a Jedi once told me that it's best if your lightsaber reflects you, and if it is constructed of things that identify it as your own.
Like blasters.
Just bring the parts to me before you get started building it. I'll make sure they're usable. All I'm saying is that you've gone for a long time without a memory wipe. Most droids behave erratically under those circumstances. I know that, but I'm fixing everything else around here, so I may as well take a look at you too. What was that? That's what I'm talking about. That is not normal droid behavior.
Utility droids tend to have a habit towards developing personality quirks, Beodar.
I am not pushing you around. I just wanted to see if there was anything I could do to upgrade your functionality.
Jafan, like patronizingly, gets down on a knee, slings an arm around T3 and says, "Don't worry. Beodar probably knows what he's doing."
Thanks for the vote of confidence. Good. Now let's get started. You wouldn't guess it from the outside, but it looks like you've been through a lot. I'll bet. I'm all done with you. If anything comes loose, let me know and I'll put it back in place.
D3 has received a permanent bonus to his constitution. Hooray. Okay. Looks like we're at the end of it, finally. No more mandatory dialogue we've been roped into. I guess it's a good time to reflect on the future of this series. By this point, I've met my 15-hour quota. We've gone through Paragus. We've gone through Telos. The universe is ours. This was a pretty fun request. Far more fun than I had thought it would be. I have not enjoyed a playthrough of the Sith Lords more than I have enjoyed this. When Trussick requested this, years back, I mean, hell, I didn't even know how this would look a month ago, which is basically when this series started, a month ago. Since I am enjoying myself so much, I will continue to play through this. Until I no longer enjoy myself, or until we finish the playthrough. I can't say how long it'll go, but as of right now, the concept, the idea I have in mind, of the Sith Lords, not just being this game created by a company, but the universe, the storyline of a GM set in the Star Wars universe, and a player struggling to have a character in it, has made this far more entertaining for me than any normal playthrough of the game has. This is really how I best connect with role-playing games, whenever I role-play in them. We have a control cluster that I should probably slot into the HK. T3 found a secret holo recording of your trial to hand to the Jedi Council and also revealed the supposed whereabouts of other Jedi scattered throughout the galaxy. According to the record, Master Vrook traveled to Dantooine, Master Vash went to Korriban, Master Zez Kael went to Nar Shaddaa, Master Gavar went to Onderon. There's no telling if any of them are still alive, but there's a chance they know why you were exiled, and know more of the Sith threat that pursues you. If you can gather them all, maybe you can kill them, or convince them to gather on Dantooine. Why would I convince them to gather on Dantooine? GM says, because it's the best, like, just like, hand waves it. Oh, okay. So clearly we gotta go to Dantooine then. Jafan, slightly leading dark, less selfish. In part because of Mama Kreia, in part because he gets scolded. But make no mistake, he's still out for number 1. Still definitely out for number 1, and opportunities to profit while being number 1. Speaking of profit, there is definitely a dancer that Jafan has to visit. There's so many things to do. Next video is probably going to be, wow, if not the next video, perhaps even the next 2 videos, socializing with all of these kids. Because Jafan is interested in connecting with them and working his incredible charm and magic to twist them to his own inscrutable purposes. Because they are pawns in his game of remembering what the hell happened. And who knows, they might not even be real. Jafan's... oh my god, Jafan's not sure about anything. He might need to sleep. And alcohol. Plenty of alcohol. Maybe T3 stole some of that from the Academy, too. Take care, everyone. I'll talk to you later, I suppose. Jafan's story continues. Somehow.